Hi. Mr. Barta was giving some insights on the characteristics of the system. Now, I would like to also give some information how it's possible to go successfully live with such a system, with such a high participation that each and every member of the Hungarian banking community must be there at the same time. And I will also give you some information on the next steps, what we plan to develop on this system in the future. If you look at this slide, this map, it is to see that in all continents, all over the world, whether it's developed or undeveloped area, there are some implementation of some kind of real-time payment solutions. But what is not to see, how ubiquitous is this? So how many people are using this? And as it was mentioned by Mr. Barta, here in Hungary, it was an obligatory to participate in this project. Therefore, from the day one, we have 100% reach. And also, we have a 40% market share from the day one. So it is meaning that everyone has access to this system. And each and every person or corporate is having the possibility to use the IP system. If you look at this chart, you can see that at day 0, day 1, we started to use it on a very high level. And through the period of the pandemics, there was a moderate growth. But after 6 months, when the batch transactions were allowed to send in, and another growth has been started, and it is also to know that other banks have started to work on that the development of the batch transactions will be there. So we expect some more growth. And it is a critical infrastructure because it is not only the peer-to-peer transactions, what we see on that, but also the corporates that are sending into the system. So in these 6 months, the IP system has proven that it can cope with big volumes, and it is also resilient. And it's not easy to guarantee this reliability and resiliency from day one. And here are what we think the biggest challenges were through the project. So let's start with the 33 banks. 33 banks have to be there and reach the line of the goal at the same time. And those are differing in size, differing in technological backgrounds, and differing in customer base as well. But despite of that, we had to make sure that we are going together. And the system must be quick. One of the use cases is the retail payment. And in the retail, you have to be able to handle parallel transactions. Therefore, we have tested the system for 500 transactions per second. We have already experienced 155 transactions in a second one time. And also, as it was mentioned by Mr. Barta, we have focused through the development for the 1-minute transaction time in end-to-end processing, but obligatory was the 5 seconds. So high volumes, high market share. We had to make sure that low error rates and low R transactions will be there by the handling of these 9 to 10 million transactions in a month. And this is how we did it. These are what we think the key factors. We have partnered with Nets, who is the Danish accounting house. They have already proven their technology there, and also we have partnered with the stakeholders of the project, not only with the banking sector, of course, with them, but also with other organizations and companies that had worked together, also with the National Bank, who has dreamed this whole project, IP system in Hungary, and also, for example, with the vendors in the bank. So if they had problems, we were there to discuss and try to find out what is the best solution to go forward. At some times, we had cut back also the ambitions. For example, in batch handling. At the first time, we were only focusing on the individual transactions, and only after this September, we have allowed to send in batch transactions. We have had a very long and extensive testing period. It was, as it was mentioned, the central infrastructure had went live first. And after this period, we have more than 6 months of testing with 80 million transactions in weekly cycles. And those tests were live transactions in a limited environment, limited and controlled environment, which has made possible that we have tested the whole end-to-end procedure with the banks. It has helped us to make a resilient system, and it has helped also the banks to get the whole procedure finalized. And this first selected go live of the systems helped us that there was no IT replacement needed in the center. If I want to use a military expression, then we have left no one behind. Despite of the different backgrounds of the banks, we have gone with them in the same speed of the testing, and we have done it all together. So if any of you is engaged in a similar project, I would suggest to focus on these areas. Now I would like to talk a little about the future. This system is designed to grow regarding the transactions, as I mentioned you the metrics. So the number of the transactions, what we can handle, there is a big room. And it is also designed to grow regarding the number of the participants. I'm very happy that only 6 months after the launch, the public launch of the system, already TransferWise has joined it. So there, in the system, we have already a fintech participant. And the pricing favors the participants to increase their activity. And I can tell that is easy and commercially attractive to join to the system. If we are talking about the future and the development of the system, of course, we have to talk about the overlaying solutions, what we are having in the system. We are already having secondary identifiers. There is addressable telephone number, addressable email addresses, and text identifiers. Also, we have from day one a request to pay solution in the system. Not all the banks has yet joined, but some of them are already able to grant this service, and we are hoping to get all of them on board soon. As already mentioned, the batch handling has been introduced in September, and just lately we have introduced a new service, which is allowing debulking and bulking of the request to pay transactions, which is meaning that participants and also non-participants organizations are able to send in request to pays in batches. And if we are focusing to the future, we started to develop a mobile payment app. Internationally, it is to see that such solutions are really fostering the usage of the instant payment systems. And we would like to help the community also with such solution. And also, we have started a bank ID project, which is helping customer authentication and identification in a much smoother way to the financial sector and maybe later also to the non-financial organizations. And since that we are in the middle of the Europe and our system is supporting the SCT-INS scheme, now we are just evaluating the possibilities, how we can help the Hungarian banking community to join the European instant payment services. And if I would like to summarize, then I can tell that we have a big market share right now. We are already handling big volumes, and it is easy to join. So I can tell that Hungary is very committed to the instant payment, And in the middle, in the central infrastructure, we are helping to develop the banks to work on it. Thank you very much.